So I found out a few days ago that cucumbers and tomatoes are both fruits. VeggieTales lied to me and apparently everybody else.
Cooler than your average. Bear with me. I got to the studio when I asked the beat if I was dope. You know what it said to me? Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Awkward Black Guy with Chappelle Andretti. I know I'm supposed to release these on Wednesdays, but I've been kind of dealing with a lot. I'm back in school, I got me a new job and everything. So I'm trying to get them to you at least one video a week. It might not always be Wednesday, but at least you're going to get at least one video a week. And I try to tell people ahead of time that this is going to come out. But today's topic is going to be double dutching. So let's get into it. Alright, so it might not exactly be double dutching, because I'm joking about that. I'm going to make a whole video about double dutching. But it is going to be, talking to girls or talking to women. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm an expert, like, all the ladies. Nah, this is not what this is about. If you thought this is about, you forgot that this is Awkward Black Guy. So, obviously, this is about a lot of times me failing or some of the things I notice when I try to talk to women. The reason why I said double dutch because I actually thought about this earlier, and timing. When is it a good time to talk to them, and how to try to get into like what kind of conversations do I have. So I noticed that when I try to at least talk to them, it's about playing double dutch, and I suck at double dutch, which means that I suck at talking to women. I don't ever know what to say to them. I never know when is a good time for me to start talking to them. So it's kind of like trying to play double dutch, and it's just like, alright, so when do I jump in? When do I jump in? And then when I get in there, it's like, am I coordinated enough to have my feet work with me so that way I can continue to jump over the ropes? And sometimes I get hit by the rope trying to hop in. Sometimes I trip over the rope when I'm trying to jump the right way. And so for me it's very complicated, much like double dutch. So that's my analogy that I'm using, and that's the one that I'm sticking with. Alright, so we're going to start from the beginning, right? We're going to talk about getting into the rope. The little move you do to try to catch the time in the rope so that way the perfect time is. So that would be trying to figure out when is a good time to speak to somebody, whether it be online or even in person. A lot of my trying to talk to or talking to women is online, because I'm very introverted, I'm awkward, and I'm kind of shy. So if I see somebody that I like in person, I'll look at them. They look nice and stuff like that, but I can't just walk up and strike a conversation with you like that. I don't want to seem any more awkward than I actually am, so I won't walk up and have a conversation with you. But if I see you online, especially like if we're on a dating app or website, whatever it could be, obviously I'm going to speak to you because I find you appealing in some way. A lot of the apps, they have pictures. I like pictures. I like nice looking women. It's cool. But I'm also the type of person who likes to sort of get an idea of what this picture's head is like, or what this woman's head is like. So I'll read the description of the person, what they put up, what they didn't put up, sort of get an idea of who it is I'm speaking to. And a lot of times I can find conversation pieces within their profiles. So that makes it a whole lot easier for me to strike up a conversation with you. But yeah, it's like I said, it's like playing double dutch and trying to, be like, I bet when I'm gonna jump in. So in person, it's hard for me because I kind of am bad at reading social cues, and I'm also kind of shy. If I find you attractive, I'm kind of shy around you. So it's just like I'll look at you, not in a creepy way. I'll probably glance at you, and then I'll like look away, or whatever the case may be. But online, I'm a lot more confident online than I'm in person. Like I can, execute full paragraphs online. I can come up with witty remarks online, things that make you laugh, all kinds of stuff. You talk to me in the inbox, you talk to me in a comment section or something like that. We'll have a whole conversation. You'll be like, yo, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean that you're awkward or you're weird? Like, you seem cool to me, but in person, I'm like, hi. Like I won't really say too much. Now if you say or do something that brings out the weirdness or awkwardness in you, by all means, I'm like, hey, we do the same thing, and I'll get super excited, and then that might kind of draw you away too. Now I think about it, because if I'm like showing this outpouring of awkwardness, you're like, oh wait, it's too much. So, I sort of try to gauge it. I don't really try to seem too weird to people in the beginning. But in the beginning, yes, it's definitely been hard for me because I've been through a lot of me trying to speak to people and them not responding to me, or trying to speak to people and just not know what to say or not know what to do. I've been out with a couple of people. I would say I've been out with a couple of people, and that first date, that first meeting is always the most nerve wracking for me because it's like, oh, this is the first time I'm meeting them. Like, what do I do? What do I say? Like, we've had conversations online. Like, they know who I am, through text message, stuff like that. And they're like, oh, I like this person through the text message. But in person, no, that first meet, it has to be, to me, it has to be so perfect. Like, I can't fuck up. Like, I can't be tripping over no banana peels. I can't be walking around with my shoes untied. I gotta make sure my shirt is straight. I don't have this big stain on my shirt. Oh, shout out to Fresh Baked, and stuff like that. So it's just like, everything has to go so well because I'm already in my head like, this person is not gonna like me when they see me in person. They're gonna be like, oh my god, what did I agree to when they see me in person? So I already am sort of self-conscious. So in the beginning, I'm trying to craft like the best thing to possibly say to you, something that's relevant to what you put up or relevant to something you was talking about. So that way, it's like, okay, this person's the time out to basically, get to know who I am. And that is a good thing to do when you're using the apps that I use. Or that is a good thing to do even when you're in a social setting and you see somebody talking about something that you find interesting too. Again, trying to figure out when is a good time to jump into the ropes. You sort of, look at what they like or some of the things they talk about. They find joy in talking about. And you sort of try to, add your 2 cents in. If you want to speak to them, you sort of try to add your 2 cents into it so that way you can weave yourself into that conversation and you guys can talk about other things. I use it a lot. I'm not going to say it works all the time because a lot online, I get dubbed heavy. Like, people look at the message, or I assume they look at the message and then it'll just sit there. In person, I don't know. I try. If you drop your books or something like that, I help you pick them up, and I'll just say, hey, my name is Marcus, or my name is Tariq, so and so, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's just being awkward or being just me having the personality type that I have and trying to talk to women is like the most difficult thing in the world. So shout out to the people who made it easy for me, because I have dated a couple people. Shout out to the people who thought that I was cool enough to date and be in a relationship with, whether it be a week, 2.5 years. It's something in me that you guys saw, so I'm happy for that. Alright, so now that we have established contact, we've gotten into the ropes, and we're starting to move our feet so that we can keep hopping over the ropes. How do we maintain this conversation? Because it's one thing for you to pique their interest and they're like, oh, okay, hey, how you doing, respond to you back. It's another thing for you to be able to have decent conversations. And I feel like the weak relationships that I've had, the quote unquote, the actual weak relationships, even as far as like up to like 30 days, I've had relationships that lasted, or quote unquote relationships that lasted like 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks. Matter of fact, the first relationship that I was in was like a week and a half, and I actually kind of broke it off because I was like, this is not what I signed up for. Like, but that's a conversation for another day. And she's the only one of that type that I've ever dated. I never looked back after that because I was like, nah, it's just, I don't know. But even the next person I spoke to, we were talking for about 3 weeks, and that was before I really had I guess you could say a hold on my emotions. Me and them spoke for like 3 weeks, and like at the end of 3 weeks, like that was the first time I got my heart broke. And I look back on it, I'm like, damn, we was only speaking for 3 weeks, but I revealed so much about myself, and they revealed so much about themselves. And so for it to end the way it did, it kind of hurt. And actually, to be honest with you, it happened again the end of last year, the end of 2016, but I kind of dealt with it differently. Because I was like, bro, like the way they went about it was so like sneaky. The way I was just like, I'm going to chuck it up. I'm going to just chuck it up to the L. But having that conversation piece after they respond to you, that's when you're in the ropes and you're trying to maintain it, is it's also hard for me too, because if I say hi to you, you say hi back, it's like, oh shit, so what do I say? Or even that, it's just like I try to have conversations with you, and you're just like killing a conversation with one word responses, with things that's so emphatic and just so like not caring. It's just like, well, damn, what's the point of me even having this conversation? What's the point of me even talking to you? You just like not giving me no sort of leeway, So sometimes that happens, and I feel like people just they're like, oh, okay, nah, I'm not really feeling you like that. So rather than just kind of cut it short, they continue to have this conversation, and it's not really a conversation because you're putting so much into it, and they're not. You're giving 90 and they're giving like 5, which is even a whole 100. But yeah, with me, like I said, I've tried to speak to people and keep the conversation going, and I would just get tripped up with the ropes, and I was like, oh damn, I got to start over, or I whatever, I get tripped up with the ropes, or maybe they just stop turning them, and I'm just like, well, I thought we was playing double dutch, why y'all stop turning the ropes like that? So this analogy is getting crazy. I know, I'm trying, believe me, I'm trying, but yeah, it's for me, it's been difficult, having to try to, do all this. But some people have made it easy for me. I might have mentioned it before, shout out to them. I would have conversations with them. Conversations would be going well. We go out, we hang out. Or sometimes we don't go out and go hang out. We just chill with no Netflix. But, yeah, so, they made it easy for me. We go out, we go chill. And the dates would be nice. I like going on dates, FYI. And me and them would build a decent rapport. I did kind of go out on a date with somebody like a couple times, and every time it was just so like they were just so uncomfortable, and I could sense they were uncomfortableness. It didn't work out, and I was just like, yo, like, do I really make people that uncomfortable? Like they were just so guarded and just did not want to really be there. And I was like, well, damn, you treat me. And but then they said it's not me, it's them. And they just have a slow time, letting down that guard. But I'm like, bro, like I'm not gonna hurt you. That's not the kind of person I am. If anything, I'm assuming you're gonna hurt me. That's just a weird way I think. But talking, it was just rough. Talk for me, trying to find somebody to talk to was rough. Even especially when I was younger, before this whole internet thing happened, when you had to send notes and you had to talk to people in person. I had crushes, little kid crushes on a couple women or a couple girls at the time that never really went anywhere. Like I would say out of all of the girls that I had a crush on back in the day, I probably only told 3 of the girls. And it wasn't like 3 in one school. It was like the first crush that I could remember having on somebody. I didn't even tell her, so we're not gonna count that one. The first crush that the first crush that I remember telling them that I had a crush on them, was in 7th grade, like 7th, 8th grade. I was North Carolina, and she was just like, nah, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. Killer, off rip, 7th, 8th grade. Other people walking around with boyfriends or girlfriends, and the first person you actually try to ask out, they're like, no. Shit hurt. So, the second person, I think the second person I told, actually all of them said no. So I don't even know why I'm going through it like this. But the second person I told, they said no for other reasons. And I felt like I don't know. But, third person the same way. I tried to tell them that I had a crush on them, and it just didn't work out. I actually told more than 3 people I had crushes on them, but that's another conversation for another time if I decide to release that video, because, yeah. So, what are my tips for, people who are awkward like me and trying to find somebody to talk to or date, or trying to figure out when the right time to talk to them is, my first, piece of advice is knowing when to talk to them. Well, this is more towards guys, because women, y'all kind of got it easy. Y'all don't really need. I could just, walk up to a guy and have them gassed by you talking to them and acknowledging their presence. For the most part, people like me, you walk up on me and start trying to talk to me or start talking to me, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, like I'm kind of the man, maybe kind of a little bit. But yeah, knowing when is a good time to try to jump into that rope and have that conversation, timing it a certain way so that way you can, not be seen as the awkward person that you are or you feel that you are. Second piece of advice is be confident. You feel me? Like, sometimes things that work in unexpected ways. There's a couple people that I actually talked to. I don't say I talk to them now. There's a couple people that I have spoken to in the past, and it's just like, oh shit, and this is actually working. Like, my weirdness and my awkwardness is really working. It's just like so unexpected. So, but then that causes you to be more confident and want to speak to them more. But you never know. I mean, a lot of times, some of the people I talked to, I didn't know. I didn't think they were going to either A, respond to me, or B, I didn't think their responses I was going to get were the positive responses that I've gotten. So you never know. You feel me? That person you might be crushing on you back. And as cliche as that sounds, that is true. That person you might be looking at, their Instagram pictures or their Facebook pictures, or just looking at their posts and stuff like that. They could be doing the same thing with you, and so you gotta go for it. You feel me? You just gotta go for it. I guess third piece of advice is breathe. Don't freak out or anything like that. Just remain cool and confident and stuff like that, and just try to act quote unquote normal. Cause what is normal? If you do like me, I know that I'm awkward and I know that I have a lot of weird things about me and stuff like that. I try to slowly divulge that sort of information. If it's somebody who is like me, who's awkward just like me, that conversation about all the weird tendencies that I have is probably going to be like in the beginning, because oh shit, you weird, I'm weird too, let's weird out together. But if it's somebody that isn't exactly exposing it yet, then you don't really want to give them too much. I mean, even in conversations of me talking to somebody else who's weird, I'm not giving them all of me, because my weird might be too weird for them. Sounds as crazy as it sounds, that's true. Like, my weird might be too weird for them. My awkwardness might be too awkward for them. So, in any case, you want to gauge it, but with somebody who is not showing you theirs, or not, you feel like it's not really as awkward as you, or whatever the case may be, you kind of want to, like, even more slowly dole it out. You kind of want to, catch them in your web first before you get them. You kind of want them to be so far within the trance, or whatever you want to call it, that they don't even realize that you weird as shit. It's like, oh, you weird? Like, I guess if I think about it, but you're still cool to me. So that's the sort of setup you want, and that's the setup that I try to go for when I speak to people. Is I usually try to seem as normal as possible, whatever normal is. And then over time, I'm like, I kind of like doing this. And this is like, that is kind of weird, but because it's you, I'll deal with it, and then, a little bit later, I also like this as well. I kind of seen that. I ain't really say nothing. That is kind of weird, but, it's whatever. So you develop a relationship with them to where they're willing to accept certain tendencies that you have. But this is just for the people who don't expose their weird things. I feel like everybody has a little bit of weird in them. So we all have those qualities, or those things that we do that we know isn't quote unquote normal. Because what is normal? I said that like 3 times, but really, what is normal? I guess another piece of advice is to be yourself. You're gonna have your crushes, and my throat's getting kind of crazy. You're gonna have those crushes. You're gonna have the people that you like. You're gonna feel like you have to be a certain way around them. And if you feel that way, don't try to entertain it too much, because if you feel like you have to be a certain way around somebody, and you feel like you have to keep up and maintain that image, just to be with them, it's not gonna last long. I would say to everybody, just be yourself. Just be who you're gonna be. Be who you are. Of course, like I said, don't give all yourself at one time. Work into it, but be yourself. It works out for the best. Because if you wind up dating somebody or somebody winds up dating you, and you're being Spider-Man, you feel me, and not Peter Parker, they're always going to expect Spider-Man. So when you start to show your Peter Parker, you start to show Peter Parker, then I'm like, well, this wasn't you from the beginning. You changed on me. Basically just try to be as consistent as possible with yourself, with being yourself. And if they for it, then it'll work out. That's all I can say about that one. That's something I had to learn myself because, you feel me, I wasn't always, comfortable with being me. There's another video that I had shot called My Depression, where I kind of, spoke on, some of the issues that I had. So yeah, one of the things was I wasn't always comfortable being me. So I felt like that I had to sort of fit in with other people. And now that I'm older, I'm realizing like, bro, like life's too short for me to try to fake the funk and be somebody I'm not. Be myself or just be yourself. You feel me? If people will mess with you, they'll mess with you. Those people will come. They will definitely come. It's about 7 billion people on Earth. Everybody's not the same way. So you just have to wait your turn. Wait till you find your group of people, your core group of people. Find that person who is gonna accept you for you, and rock with them. You feel me? You don't really have to deal with all these other people. Find the people who rock with you. Find the people who like who you are, and stick with them. You don't have to put on a face or be fake around them. Why not rock out with them? I guess more advice I'm trying to talk to people is, or women or whoever, is, like, I don't know, just try to be cool. Whatever cool is. Don't overthink things. Try to, keep your nerves about yourself, keep your wits about yourself. Like I said, you don't really want to change too much. You don't really want to depend on too many things to help you get through certain things. Like, you don't want to be quote unquote medicated or whatever the case may be, just so you can talk to these people or do these things. Like, you don't want to seem cool. You just want to be yourself, basically. I guess that's what the point is. So I guess that's everything I have for this one. And thank you for sticking around as long as you have. As always, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I appreciate you guys that are subscribers and are looking at my updates and things like that. Like I say in all my videos at the end, Fresh Baked Apparel. I'm wearing a shirt, you feel me? As you guys already know, this one is sold out. I'm thinking about bringing it back. I'm actually going to make it in a different color. I'll tell you what that color is when it comes out because I'm going to be wearing the shirt. I don't really want to ruin too many surprises. Links to the Instagram and the website are going to be down below. As always, I have mediums and extra larges in my other design because this is the sort of original one. $15 a piece. You guys know, they ship out within the next 2 days. Well, they get to you for the next 2 days. I'm really, just trying to, try my hand. Not even try my hand. This is something I'm passionate about. This is my brand. This is something I'm passionate about, and I just want to be able to share my creations with you guys. So, by all means, check it out. You guys have any sort of suggestions as to designs or even videos that I should shoot? Let me know in the comments below or wherever you can find me at. It would be greatly appreciated. And I've been doing poetry recently. I've made a couple of poetry videos. I haven't really gotten to do Aqua Black or anything else that I wanted to do. But not even haven't gotten to. I just haven't been inspired by anything for me doing. Actually inspired by this video because I'm kind of somewhat, maybe, possibly talking to somebody now. But yeah, any suggestions you guys have for either designs or even, video ideas, please let me know. I'm going to be releasing more poetry soon because I have, like, if you're my friend on Facebook and you happen to see my notes, I have like a lot of poetry. So I'm gonna have a lot of content to give you guys as far as the poetry for a while, and I might just randomly come up with stuff off the top of my head like I did with Alone. That wasn't something I had pre-written. That was something, like I said before, I was inspired by certain things. So you guys, in the poetry front, you guys will get a lot of stuff from me. I got a lot of video ideas, but this actually outro is a lot longer than it usually is. But again, check out Fresh Baked Apparel. That's my brand. Support, and I will see you guys somewhere out there.